The rebirth of the Wolfenstein series was a huge success in many ways, but one of the key ones was that the modern consoles were able to not just give a better look to the game, but give more reach in terms of what they could actually do with the titles. Wolfenstein II: The New Colossus, for example, puts you in the shoes of B.J. Blazkowicz once again, but this time, you're heading to America, where the Axis is still very strong. Now, you'll have to travel the country to try and get a bunch of resistance members together in order to fight back and try to retake the world. Your journey will not be easy, but if you win, it'll be necessary.
Leave it to me. Ah!
The original Commandos 2 is hailed as one of the greatest strategy games ever made, and one that influenced many titles going forward. But now, you can partake in the modern version of it via a full-on remake in Commandos 2 HD Remaster. In this game, you'll not just updated graphics, but controls, new tutorials, and more quality of life improvements that will ensure that this game experience is even grander than the first time you played it. In the game, you'll be an elite group of commandos in World War II, who are sent on a set of increasingly dangerous missions to try and help turn the tide. Use strategy, the environment, and of course, your weapons and skills to get the missions done and save the day.
That wasn't hard. Going there.
The Toy Soldiers game that originally came out was meant to give you a unique perspective of war from the very toys that many like to make and set up in order to enact war games. But now, with Toy Soldiers HD, you'll get the best version of that title, as you will get a war game with very nice graphics and be able to control the toy soldiers like never before. Take command of the battlefield and see just what you can do with your soldiers. Attack on the land and in the air, and try your hardest to achieve total victory. In Dog Duty, you'll play as a ragtag group of misfits who are tasked with going and fighting a giant evil organization. Anyway, you'll ride high and fast on your moving plane and car and then go from island to wipe out the Octopus Commander and his forces. You'll need to be careful though, your squad of 3 is going up against a true army that is armed to the teeth. You'll need to use hit and run tactics to do things like cut off their supplies, limit their forces, and more. Whatever it takes to save day, do it. World of Tanks puts you in control of some of the best tanks in history. In fact, you'll have access to over 300 different tanks throughout the wars of the world. So you'll get to choose which one suits you best, and then you'll take it to the battlefield to prove whether you're a great tank commander or not. The best part about World of Tanks is that you're playing against other players MMO style. So go and see what destruction you can cause. In Gigantic Army, you are tasked with the near impossible. After a war with the Romulans began so long ago, you have made it to their home planet and now must take the fight to them in order to end things once and for all. 6 levels of danger await you, and Gigantic Army pays tribute to classic mech shooters of the past in terms of the looks, feel, and gameplay of the title. Use a variety of weapons to finally put down the alien menace and take back the fate of your world. Resources are scarce all across the board, violence is everywhere, and a cold wave has made the planet almost unbearable to live on. Despite this, there is hope for a future. 8 people have banded together to try and change things. But to do that, they have to go and save a scientist that is being held hostage. It won't be easy though. You'll need to scavenge for items to help yourself and your squad. You'll need to gather info on your location and your enemies, and then fight back against those trying to stop you. Survive the trials, finish your mission, and save the world in the process. Do you remember the original Metal Gear games? The 2D top-down titles on the older generations of consoles? Well, UnMetal is an unabashed ripoff. We mean, dedicated spiritual successor to those titles. Anyway, in the game you'll play as Jesse Fox, a person who was imprisoned for a crime they didn't commit. Now, they must use their wits and fists and any kind of weapon they can fashion in order to bust out of the joint and stop a conspiracy they come across. You'll see a lot of references to Metal Gear here, and the more you play, the more you'll see just how much they enjoyed those titles and how much they wanted to spoof it. Ever since the Battle Royale franchise came to be in video games, many titles have tried to put their stamp on it and get into the mold, and into the cash flow. Modern Combat 5 Blackout is one such example of that. The game puts you in intense 60-person multiplayer matches in order to see who is the best of the best. The best part is that you'll have a large arsenal of weapons to pick and choose from. This will ensure that you have the playstyle that you want so you can truly go to war at your peak. So jump into the matches and see if you can be the winner.
More incoming! Keep them off one! Hang
on! Red Wings Aces of the Sky is a very special kind of war game in that it's one that puts you up into the skies and dares you to dogfight with some of the best pilots of World War I. Including getting to be the infamous Red Baron himself in order to rule the roost. Throughout the game you will take part in over 50 different missions from key battles in World War I, and in each one you'll be challenged as you try and shoot down enemy planes and cheat death yourself. Once you're done, you can try out the survival mode, or go and play with friends.
Enemy reinforcements arrived.
Set within World War I, Valiant Hearts, the Great War puts you in the role of 4 complete strangers who must come together to try and make something better in this world torn apart. Follow their stories through the battlefields and the trenches of the Great War in order to progress the story and see just how meaningful the story is via its rather unique visual appearance. You'll not just follow the stories, you'll guide them through key points, solve puzzles to help them make their way, and of course, you'll follow a dog. Valiant Hearts, The Great War is truly a unique war title, and you'll definitely want to try it out. The Survivor Brigade has saved the day multiple times now, and they still can't catch a break. Zombie Army 4 Dead War puts you back into the squad, and has you trying your hardest to put Zombie Hitler back into the ground once again. You'll have your squad go up against some of the most aggressive zombie hordes today, as you travel across parts of Europe like Italy and more in order to find the true places where darkness dwells, and try and put an end to it.
What the hell is going on?
Bruno. A train full of zombies just crashed through the wall. Not husks, real zombies. The station's under siege.
Sniper Elite 4 is very much a title that many people were talking about when it came out in 2017. Mainly because this was yet another major leap in the sniper genre, something that many gamers have been more than happy to take part in. The game boasts the largest and most advanced World War II shooter ever built. For the time at least, but that should also give you an indication as to how grand this title really is. The game will test you as you have to traverse all sorts of terrain in order to get to your targets and then take them out. Do it from afar or do it up close, as long as the job gets done. War can come in many shapes and sizes, which is one of the reasons people don't like it. And that goes double for video games, because for these last two saves, I'm going to show you two very different versions of the battle genre, starting with Civilization VI. Now, some of you will understand why this game is on this list, because in this title you have the ability to absolutely not go to war and build yourself as a peaceful nation that prioritizes other things over military might. Civilization VI specifically gives you more to do in your cities so you can grow and expand even further. Or you can build an army and try to dominate the world. This War of Mine features a country destroyed by a siege and the people are just trying to get by. You play as a group of people who are lodged in a slightly destroyed house, and now you must do your best to make it through this war day by day. Every single day you have to make decisions to try and fix up your home, make sure no one can steal your stuff, and then look for resources. Survival means making hard calls, and some of your crew might not make it. And if you all die, it's game over and you have to start again.